This is like a whole new setup here on the podcast.
Yeah, so, okay, like, I'm 5 foot nothing, so I'm just trying to get used to, like, I want to swivel. Can I swivel?
No, you can't swivel.
Can I do this?
I mean, you can swivel for
it.
YouTube because, of course, the Totally Spoiled podcast is on YouTube. Okay, just stop. This isn't Busch Gardens or something that you're on a ride here.
Don't
right?
mind me if I go in and out on the I've been known to do it.
I'm going to see you rolling, like, off video.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like I'm in middle school again with my desk and my chair, but
it's
just
nice,
a much
isn't it?
better chair.
Well, no, I locked your chair. I mean, you can bounce back if you move on the... Why are we even talking? We should have talked about this beforehand. This isn't during the podcast.
I squirrel, okay? Sorry for going off, like, subject for a second.
Like, there's a shiny penny over there that grabbed your... Exactly.
Whatever.
Welcome to the Totally Spoiled podcast. We're going to talk about So You Think You Can Dance. We're going to talk about Sicario.
Yes.
It's Sicario 2, right?
I don't know if that's part of the title, but it is the second, which is what threw me off. So you have to see the first. We'll definitely get into it.
Okay, so we'll talk about Sicario.
Yes.
I watched a couple of episodes of The Sinner. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Before we start, though, I saw something on the way to work that kind of reminded me how much it pissed me off.
Okay.
And this is completely this is shiny penny syndrome. But I just saw it on the way to work. I was like, oh my God, this makes me so angry.
Oh boy.
So you know how sometimes car dealerships put like their sticker on the back of the car or like a license plate thing around?
Like the one that whatever that surrounds the plaque. Yeah, I take that off immediately, but yeah.
But that's so like the sticker, who gives you the right? Listen, if I'm paying like $20,000, let's say, for a car, I'm paying $20,000 for the car. If you want to advertise on the back of my car, feel free to take like $5,000 off of there or something.
Then we might talk.
Right?
I'm with you. Sticker would annoy me. The
so
plaque
annoying.
thing, whatever, I don't care. I can remove that easily. But the sticker, I'm totally with you. But it's not just that. It's, maybe I guess this is a stylistic thing. Sometimes they do it, and then it's a tiny little logo that they put sometimes when they pinstripe your cars.
Which I hate,
How you realize
too.
that?
I take the pinstripe right off.
Can't stand it.
Yeah.
So it's those two things. I'm with you, because that's at that point, it's like part of the body of the car. And it's like, I don't want it there.
I didn't ask for that.
For it.
Yeah.
And
I remember when I actually, when I bought my new car, I think they asked if I wanted the license plate cover or whatever the border or whatever that thing is. They asked me if I wanted it.
What car was this?
The new Hyundai that I've got.
Okay.
Yeah, they asked me if I wanted it,
Hyundai.
and I mean they know me, so they're like, "You don't want it, do you?" I'm like, "No, I don't freaking."
Please explain. Do they know me?
Take $5,000. Well, no, I've been dealing with them for like I've been going to the same dealership for like 7 years now.
Gotcha.
So, and the owner of the dealership's last name is Fink.
Oh my God!
So a lot of people think we're related.
We've
right?
got two of you.
Two of us.
Oh my God! The world can't handle. The world can't handle. Oh Lord!
All right, let's start talking about some TV and movies. Thank you so much for subscribing to the Totally Spoiled podcast. It's Brian Fink at Brian Fink at April on air.
You got it.
We have to address the elephant in the room. Or not in the room. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
so,
my God.
You may notice that one voice is missing.
Might be down to one more, just saying.
Wow! So, wait, is it just going to be the Brian Fink podcast, or is it just going to be the April podcast? Which one?
I can take you.
What? Let's do it right now. No, I'm not high-fiving.
I can take it.
We got these cool tables.
Come on. Okay, you've got my right hand. It's my left hand. No advantage.
So, unfortunately, CT is no longer part of the Totally Spoiled podcast. Her agents wanted too much money for her to be part of the show, and we were like, I'm sorry. We can't budget that, so
yeah,
it's either us or the money, and she chose the money. So
I would
she's
like.
No longer
I would like to think she still loves us, though.
I
would like to think so.
And she still listens.
Right? CT?
Yeah, she told me she's still going to listen, which is awesome. No, I'm kidding. We absolutely love CT. Unfortunately, she's no longer working here, so
she's moving on to other things. Yeah. And we just got to be happy for her. A little heartbroken, but we just got to be happy for her.
So
right?
the Totally Spoiled podcast moves on.
It does for the moment until we're still here alive. I mean, we'll talk about after the wrestle match.
And you're making fun of me for my quesadillas. What the heck?
Whoa! Hold on. Yeah, we need to address this. I'm so putting you on blast about this. Guys, Fink's first ever. Quesadilla. Say it
Ever.
with me. Quesadilla.
Quesadilla?
Don't even play.
Good
job. Quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
Oh, I'm so proud
I
of
know
you.
how to say
It's
it.
like a mom.
I've just
I'm
never-
so proud of you.
Okay, let's preface this with I don't really eat Mexican or Spanish food.
Are you that guy that literally sticks to like
Oh yeah.
your chicken tenders and fries and
grilled
burgers
cheese and pizza.
Oh,
and
I know you and your grilled cheese.
That's
is my
it.
friend. So here's
I don't
the
do quesadillas.
Oh, no excuses. I'm
So,
so disappointed.
so I'm at Chipotle yesterday. I'm like, hey, do you want me to pick you up something? And she's like, yeah, get me a kid's quesadilla, cheese quesadilla. I'm like, okay, well, do I need to like say something? What? She's like, no, I just want it plain. I'm like, well, do I say no guac? Do I say no?
Why did you ask me even rice? I'm like, what?
Because I'm looking up on the menu and it says it comes with rice.
Oh
So
my
I'm
God.
thinking, like,
So here, I'm gonna give you a little bit benefit of the doubt. There's a thing called also loaded quesadillas or quesadillas.
Exactly.
You can put peppers and beans and protein or whatever.
so what if I get up
But-
to the front and they go, well, what do you want on your quesadilla? And then I'm like, I don't know.
Cheese.
Okay.
And what we learned this yesterday, Fink. What's the second component? Not a bun.
A tortilla.
Not-
A tortilla.
Don't make. This mic. Can I use this as like? Are we?
Hey, this is audio. You see the levels? You don't need to hit the mic like that, okay?
Let me test it up here. Hold on.
What is
Hold
this,
on.
like Radio 101? You don't have to pound on the mic like that?
No, this is about to turn into something else. We'll just get there, guys. So let me tell you, I want to award him and give him a round of applause.
I got it
His
right.
first quesadilla with tortilla.
With just cheese. Just cheese.
Say it with me.
It's like a grilled cheese
Say-
except with tortilla. All right.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Take
I
the wheel.
almost went to go.
Anyways.
I almost went to go see
Anyways.
Sandlot last night.
No way.
I almost did, but because you shamed me into almost. So the 25th anniversary of the Sandlot is in theaters now, and
That's
I text
crazy.
April and I'm like, "Hey, 25th anniversary of the Sandlot." She's like, "Wait, they're making a new Sandlot?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now?" No, they're putting it back in theaters for a limited time, and I haven't seen it in like 40 years. No, I'm kidding. It hasn't even been around.
I'm
40
like,
years.
can we math? Hold
25.
on. Charts and graphs.
25.
Charts and graphs. Here we go. This is gonna be the. Yep, we're going back to it.
I haven't seen it since it came out, so I don't really
so
remember
I was
much
0
about
years
it.
Old.
Yeah. Oh my God. Turn the page. Let's talk about something else. So you think you can dance? So you think you can dance?
All right, yeah.
So you think you
Tell me about
can dance?
Dance.
Have you watched any?
No, well, I told you. Remember, I've been so aggravated with it because I'm used to maybe what was it before? 2-3 episodes.
Yeah,
And
I
they
think
didn't
that was
call it
it.
Academy. It was basically
Going
just
to
the
Hollywood.
auditions.
Yeah.
Right. And they do the different cities and whatnot, and it was neat to see the technique and kind of the ground basis of some of these dancers and stories. I love that. I'm a dancer myself. I can totally appreciate it.
Me too.
When
You can't tell?
let me see some moves.
Oh, you want to see some moves?
Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Guys, please. This is the time we go to YouTube. Wait, what happened?
No, I don't want to embarrass you.
Oh, you got psyched out. Oh, it's okay.
Oh!
It's okay. It's okay.
So go on. So they used to only take a few episodes for
Right.
the auditions.
And
Now it's Academy after Academy after Academy after Academy.
Where I'm thinking it should be called So You Think You Can Dance
Academy. Right?
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? So last week, I didn't even watch it. I think I told you that until you told me, oh, well, they announced the top 20. And then they come and say, oh, you top 20, you made it. But
how messed up is this?
yeah.
So they whittle it down to the top 20. They go, congratulations, you're part of the top 20. All of these kids are like, woo! They're out like
Ecstatic.
celebrating. They're doing like cannonballs into the pool at the academy. And they go, oh, by
Wait a
the
minute.
way,
Yeah.
we're going to make another cut. And it's going to be down to the final 10
Yeah. So
in the
half
academy.
of them.
Yeah.
Half of them.
So on Monday, what they had to do was they had to dance with a professional,
Yep, one of the all-stars.
one of the all-stars, and be choreographed by one of the choreographers.
Right.
So they're kind of taking the concept of the show and putting it into the academy, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's still the Academy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it, and I think we talked about this, and you shed some light on it. It's probably just as far as just the network and saving, the money prior to going to live show, this and that. But then again, it's like, okay, so give and take. You're going to do that and maybe have it hurt or affect the ratings, because I don't know. I don't see a lot of people liking the extension of the Academy. You're not even at the show yet. You're not even starting to see the nitty gritty, dissection of, okay, your strengths, your weaknesses, what how you can transform from one genre to another of dance and kind of see them grow. You see it a little bit in the Academy, but it's more of just kind of it's amateur level.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what they did with this last episode by bringing the
girl.
All-Stars into it, by bringing choreographers one-on-one.
And having them go outside of their comfort level.
Exactly. So it is kind of like the show, and they whittled it down to the top 5 girls. And now, next week, it's going to be the Academy still, and they're going to whittle down the top 10 guys, the top 5, and then the top 10 go to the live show.
Yeah, I don't like
and
it at all.
I honestly, we were talking about it. I think it is a money thing. I think because the live shows are probably so expensive that they're just getting everything out of the way, doing the Academy, and then, but just, I don't know, just like shorten the episodes and include more of the Academy to make it a less amount of time.
You should go take Nigel's job.
I should.
I'm
Nigel, I'm coming for you, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
you should go take his job.
I
like the man, but
I've got dizzy feet too. I mean, these feet are dizzy. These feet are a little dizzy.
Oh my god!
That's what it is, right? Dizzy feet.
Yep,
the Dizzy Feet Foundation.
Look at you!
I know what I'm talking
Doing
about.
your homework.
So,
all right.
So next week is going to be the top 5 guys, and then finally, the week after that, 2019, we're going to be getting into the live shows of the top 10.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are we going to get to the finale? That's going to be the one live show, right?
It's
I think that's how it's working.
So we got to play. Yeah, exactly. The only live show they do is the finale.
You didn't make it. You didn't make it. You didn't make it, but you did.
That's it. So,
God.
Sicario.
Yeah. Yes.
Tell me about Sicario, because I when I was scrolling through to see what movies were in theater, to see what I wanted to do for a $5 movie, Sicario was there, and I remembered us talking about it.
No way. Okay, so it's part of that.
Yeah,
okay.
well, I mean, it's any movie. Like AMC does this. It's a really great deal, and they're not sponsoring me because I actually pay the $5 plus fees. But feel free, AMC, if you want to.
Free 99. We'll talk about you. We're doing it anyways.
Right.
Just saying.
So it's Tuesdays, $5. If you're part of the AMC. Yeah, any AMC if you're part of the AMC club, whatever. See, obviously AMC is not paying me either.
Doing it all wrong.
I'm doing this completely wrong.
Doing it all wrong.
So Sicario was in theaters, and I was like, I remember us talking about, I don't even know what Sicario means.
Well, okay, I had no idea what it means, and apparently in Spanish, and for the Mexican culture, which I'm about the whitest Mexican you'll probably meet, but still I am. So I know my quesadillas, and I love them very much.
Yes, you do.
But yeah, so it means in Spanish, Sicario means hitman.
Okay.
I'm like, oh.
Well,
like,
you saw the first one, right?
Yeah. So it kind of gives you a basis to what the movie is about, if that's the title. And it's basically like the inner workings of like the Mexican cartel and, everything that goes on behind closed doors. And this is tied in with the hitman that's hired works. You don't find this out until about halfway through. And I mean, it's intense. I'm putting the disclaimer out there. If you're not about super gory and intense, vulgar vocabulary. And,
well, that's fine, but it's a lot of blood and a lot of goriness?
Oh, remember how we talked about in Ozark and how speaking about, we're into like drug cartel shows, you can tell that, right? So
when he blows his head off?
No big deal. Yeah, and he's the I call her the freaking crazy woman that runs like the heroin business.
The Snells.
Blows off Dell's head.
Right.
Yeah, it's at times 50.
Holy crap!
It's intense. It's really, really intense.
Listen, I'm all about intense, but the gore factor is what... Like, I remember walking out of...
Yeah.
I think it was called Vampire or Vampires or something, and it was a movie with, I want to say, James Wood. James Wood, whatever his name is. And it there's this one scene where they split a guy in half and literally you see his body just like separate in half. I'm like we're all laughing in the theater.
Ugh.
That's how bad it was. And I ended up walking out.
Because you gotta cope. Because you've gotta cope.
But it was like, what is that?
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad.
Yeah.
So is it that gory?
It's that, but then also you're tying in seeing it to kids and moms. And
God.
That for me is like, ooh, like just kind of is a little even heavier. Like moms, females, still, but kids. And it just puts it all out there.
Did we just lose power?
Uh-oh.
What happened in the did we just...
We are now the Toshiba Compact
Yeah, we are now.
DTS studio sound.
Wow.
Right.
I don't know if we lost power in here.
Well, you do hear the rain right now. Da-da-da-da, and we're back.
And we're gone.
Okay.
All that matters is audio is still going.
We're going. We're
So
functioning. I believe that is so, though, because I can hear the rain from in here, too.
Is that what it is? I can't hear it.
Oh, yeah. It's pounding.
Because it was raining earlier.
We're in Florida.
Yeah, I know. Where it's like, oh, it's rain. No, it's not raining anymore.
Oh, it's raining. It's back.
No, it's not raining
Little
anymore.
tease.
Well, I'm just glad I got
tease.
in because I didn't want my hair to get messed up this morning, so I got in before it.
Big problems. Big problems, clearly.
So I guess that's what happened.
Clearly.
I guess it's the rain outside
It
right
is.
now. Okay,
It is.
so wives, mothers, kids, it's happening with them too.
But apparently this is, like I said, I don't know much about this. I actually, these kind of shows really do intrigue me, whether they're movies or shows. But it's supposed to depict pretty much the backstory and the reality of how kind of the inner working of this works and how it affects not only those involved, but their families and their kids. And that's kind of how it plays in. And you see kind of what it happens to families, and you find dead bodies wrapped in plastic like suits in like digged into the walls of these. Oh, it's intense. And my understanding was, because I actually, when I went to the movies about 2 weeks ago, and I was going to check it out. And then my friend that I went with was like, he's like, no, you can't see it. Have you seen the first one? I'm like, what do you mean the first one? He's like, no, there's a first one. I was like, oh man, well, I guess we're not seeing this.
So is the first one on Netflix?
The first one is
it somewhere? Does it live somewhere?
Where did I think it was, and now I'm like, wait, where did I see it? I think I did see it on Netflix.
So you watched the first one?
I did.
Is it good?
I did. This is what I'm talking to you about. Yeah, that it's brutal, it's gruesome, but it's
good.
It is really good.
So we should go see the second one. Well, I need to watch the first one.
It's like an hour and a half. Watch it, and I will totally go with you to see the second one
because
I want to, and it's still out. I will go see it.
Unlike Whitney. Yeah, so we were talking about like what $5 movie we should go see on Tuesdays at AMC, which, by the way, AMC, if you want to sponsor the Totally Spoiled podcast, you're more than welcome to.
Only been mentioned like 10 times.
Right? So we were trying to figure out what we should go see, and we were going to go see Whitney, and I was looking at the times and dates, and I'm like, guys, Whitney's already pretty much out of theaters. Like it was only showing on Tuesday at like 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
and I'm all about the work outing. I mean,
I am too. I mean, I thought we had a pretty cool boss, Tommy Chuck, who didn't approve our workday field trip.
He shut it down.
I don't know.
I guess we've got to go like ziplining or something for it to be like an out. I guess we have to include the whole building for it to be a staff outing.
Like we're not cool enough.
No,
we don't get singular treatment or approval.
So Sicario is still in theaters. We can go
is.
see it. So I just need to catch up on Sicario.
I think you'll like it. It goes in line with other shows that we've seen and kind of analyzed, and it's a very good story plot, and it keeps you engaged. I'll say that much without giving too much away.
And you're talking about how it goes into like the behind the scenes of everything going on, and that's kind of like Trust. I don't think you ever watched Trust when it was on.
I did not. That's one of those shows I heard so much about and tried to, but didn't.
It was interesting.
Okay.
But it showed a lot of, because the families that kidnapped him were part of like the Italian whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, it showed like, because a lot of them had wives and kids, and it showed the effect it had on them as well, having to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough. There's this one guy, and it just shows you kind of like, the politics and just kind of the mess behind this business of, there's a lot of policemen that are involved in it. There's this one story plot that not the whole story revolves around it, but he's a policeman that's also involved in the drug cartel business, and he's got this cutest little boy and a wife. And it keeps kind of flashing back to him, and it's like, Papa, when are we gonna go play football? Like, to play soccer. And he wakes him up like every morning, and he works a night shift, and eventually, after about 4 kind of flashbacks, on one of the last one, he goes out for his assignments, and he never comes back.
Oh.
And
wait, are you totally spoiling this for me?
Do I need to rephrase you of what our show is? More incentive to go watch it.
Yes,
you can know
yes.
exactly totally what I'm spoiling right now.
I don't think you're spoiling it enough that it still wouldn't be an interesting movie to catch.
Yeah, no,
Who's
this is just one little piece.
Is there anybody like big in it, or is it kind of like off actors? Like
now
B's
I'm wanting
and
to
C's?
whip out my phone because you just made me think of something. I'm almost positive. Correct me and make me look like a freaking fool if
I will.
need be for next
I will.
time. I'm sure you
I will.
Don't hold back, Fink.
You're welcome. Well, CT's not here anymore. It's all on me now.
Geez, man.
Now I need to double up.
Why can't I catch a break? Let me just spin in my chair, okay? Like this is eventually gonna be therapeutic for me. I can't look at you, so I'm just gonna keep spinning.
That's gonna be the entire video. Is just you spinning.
Me in my school desk in my spinny chair. No big deal. Don't mind me.
Right.
But now that you said that, double check me. But I want to say the Hitman. If not, they look scarily familiar, is the same guy in Ozark. We'll have to check this out.
As who in
Dell.
Ozark? Oh, really? Wow, that'd be crazy.
They look really...
Huh.
Don't quote me, but we'll check it in just a little bit. I want to say it's the same guy.
Okay.
Because I'm putting this disclaimer out there, and you know this too. I am so good with faces, terrible with names.
Right.
It's that guy with the brown hair.
Yeah, him. He's in both the movies.
Yeah, because there's no other guys with brown hair.
Right. Who play in gangster type movies.
Yeah, it fits the role.
In cartel type movies. Yeah.
Just
Okay,
saying.
so that might be like the next $5 movie.
I'm in.
Okay.
I need to see it because it's one of those things. Once I start, I need to finish. So it's like I saw the first one. I need to go see the second one.
So
It's good.
I have
It's
a
good.
little catching up to do. I watched 2 episodes of The Sinner last night on Netflix.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So I thought I started Netflix, and I told you yesterday, I'm like, I think I'm just going to find something on Netflix
Right.
that I can watch. And so The Sinner comes up as something that's trending. I'm like, oh, okay, it's got to be a new show. So I hop in on it, and I start watching. I'm like, oh, cool. And then I Googled just to try to, I forget what I was trying to find out.
Uh-huh.
And it popped up, season 2 is starting in August. I'm like, son of a bit! Like,
come on!
Every
Okay.
show that I think is new, like I really must be completely behind on because I'm new to Netflix. I know that sounds weird.
No, I relatively am too. I've been borrowing my friends.
No, you have not. You've been paying for Netflix. You are paying for Netflix.
Yeah.
You're trying to get this show shut down? What the heck? We're trying to get a sponsorship for Netflix.
I mean, I pay him for my end, right?
Oh, okay.
So I'm still technically
Wink,
paying
wink.
for it.
You got something in your eye. You got something in your
Gosh,
eye.
That's why I'm wearing glasses today. Like they were bugging me this morning.
So we're kind of new to Netflix, and it's mainly because I honestly didn't because I had so many shows on normal TV that I'm like I don't need to spend, even though it's only like $10 a month.
Super cheap and
I'm
super worth
Jewish.
it.
I don't need, I watch too much on TV. I don't need that.
Netflix, you hear him?
But then
Channel in.
But then I started paying.
Yeah.
For my, I got some in my eye. Oh, I got some in my eye.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's much better.
Oh, good. Okay.
And
Woo.
I started watching stuff. Like people started suggesting stuff on Netflix. So
Yeah.
I thought
I'm hooked.
I had seen everybody posting about The Sinner, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll hop on and start watching.
Yeah.
Season 1 is on Netflix. Season 2 is about to start, I think, on A&E, I want to say, which is actually good because that means we've got like a week to watch The Sinner on Netflix and catch up. And it's only 8 episodes. Season 1. So
okay, so
hop
it's not
on
bad.
that.
I was like, okay, so now I've got to figure out how I'm gonna binge and do this.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, that's why I'm saying I've got to. So if we're gonna do Sicario on Tuesday, then that means I've got to binge this. I'm getting all discombobulator as what I'm supposed to be watching.
Okay, we'll figure this out.
Because
figure this
it's
out. I'm
crazy.
going to take your word on it that it's worth it because I was eventually going to say we should delve into Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have HBO, so that's. I'm not good at this
Don't
TV podcast
mind
thing.
me,
It's not like we're talking about TV
don't
shows or
mind
anything.
me.
It's not
I'm
like
eventually gonna
this
get
is.
twisted.
It's
in
not
this.
like this is all based on TV shows, and I should probably have everything. But I actually
We're variety.
So
We're
I'm
variety.
supposed to
Okay.
have HBO. It was like a free feature, like as AT&T Unlimited, that you get HBO through DirecTV Now.
Because I feel okay. So let's rewind for a second. You have AT&T or Frontier? Who do you have?
No, I have AT&T for my cell service. And when you did
at
like
home-
when you did an unlimited plan, you like a year ago got HBO for free. And so I
Okay.
did that, and now all of a sudden it's gone away. So
So it's
right
probably
now,
like some promotional thing.
right?
Yeah.
But right now I'm trying to find out why I don't have HBO. They said it's going to be a couple of days till they get back to me. So
I do.
okay, that's great. So you watch *Handmaid's Tale*. I'll continue watching *The Sinner*, which has Jessica Biel in it.
Oh, I love her. I love her.
I don't think I'd ever seen her acting in something really. Like I knew who she was.
Really?
But I can't remember anything that I've really seen her in.
I definitely have. I'm drawing a blank right now, but I definitely have.
Well, she's good.
Mm.
She is good. Like I didn't realize that she was going to be this good.
Really?
And
Huh.
do you know the
Okay.
basis of, do you know anything
I
about
don't.
it?
I don't. I've heard of it, but that's just about the extent of it.
So she's a wife
Okay.
with a kid.
Okay.
And in the first episode, she goes bat crazy and stabs a guy to death on the beach.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
it is a normal day. The family is on the beach. It's a beach outing. She goes swimming and goes like past where she's supposed to. Looks like she's trying to drown herself. And then she comes back onto the beach, and they're sitting there, and this couple in front of them start playing music really loudly. And it's triggering something. And even the husband's like, they're just messing around, nothing. And this song is a trigger of hers that as you go along, like
You find
episode 2,
out.
you're kind of learning like what it is. And she gets up, she's carving an apple for her son. And she gets up with the knife and goes over and stabs him 7 times to death. Yeah. So first episode, she goes to jail.
Okay. Oh yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's like what like how is this like? So I'm guessing the whole series is going to be her in jail and kind of learning the backstory of what.
Okay.
So you learn that like she had an insane childhood where we're still learning what's wrong with her parents. She had a sister that was really sick that to me looked like an alien or a demonic child and had like sores and everything. And the parents, the mom would tell her that the sisters, so the mom blamed the sister being sick on her. And because the mom was pregnant with her and had issues, that's why the sister's sick. So she blamed everything on her.
gee.
And she's saying like, if she doesn't pray enough and if she like eats chocolate, then that's affecting the sister, and that's why God's not helping the sister. Messed up
wow.
upbringing.
Kind of also, I guess, seeing the tie-in with the title of the
Sinner.
Sinner.
Yeah. So you're learning and so you kind of in the first episode, she says that she didn't know the guy and there was a complete random killing, which it seemed like it was.
Right.
But
maybe
even
not.
into the second episode, you learn that she did know him.
There's more.
There's definitely a storyline there. So it's
Ooh.
definitely a really good show.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. And like I said,
I might need to give it a little shot then. What I'm afraid of is I'm going to have another show to get hooked on, which I guess is a good problem.
well,
But
it's only 8 episodes, and they're less than an hour.
Less than an hour?
Yeah, because
That's
it was
not
on
bad.
A&E, if I'm not mistaken, and season 2 is starting. I want to say August 1st.
So we have that starting in August, and we have
Ozark is
Oh,
posting in
God,
August, season
August.
2, and
then
then
our
This Is Us
forever
comes back
favorite.
in September.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we're pretty booked up. We're pretty booked up.
No big deal.
So any TV shows that want to sponsor the show, I'm sorry, you're out. I'm sorry. We're too full. But
Oh God!
if anybody wants to sponsor, because obviously our logo isn't staying up to it.
It's back. It's back.
You want to sponsor that or AMC? We're talking about your $5
Netflix,
Tuesdays.
HBO,
Netflix
what?
that April totally pays for. In fact, she pays like $30 a month just because she wants to put extra money in Netflix pocket.
Duh. Investing. Come on now. 101. Come on.
Absolutely.
Look.
At Brian Fink, at April on air. By the way, you know what I learned?
Tell me.
You can go, hey, Alexa, play Totally Spoiled podcast.
What? Alexa knows us?
And it plays it.
No way!
That's how we know we've made it.
I
when
love
Alexa
it.
will
We've
play
made
it.
it.
So-
I do wanna say this real quickly before we close down though. I'm gonna give this a shot and I would love to get your input on
Okay.
it. My nail girl, and her and I love her. Maddie, you're awesome. And Kelly's a freaking hoot. I'd love to bring
she's
her into
hilarious.
You would love her.
Oh my God,
You won't
she
fight
is.
her. You might fight me. You won't fight her. Y'all will bond.
Okay.
She told me about the 90-Day Fiancé. All I'm going to say about this show, it's on TV, is it's women that come here and they have 90 days to find a fiancé. And if they don't, they got to get the F out.
Oh, wow.
Like
from other countries?
From other countries, all different types of countries.
Wait, isn't that
And
illegal?
this is why I want to watch this show.
Isn't marrying for a citizenship illegal?
I have no idea. But Kelly, God bless our lover, she's like, it's juicy, it's trashy, I love it.
What's it on? Is it on like Bravo?
Oh, I need to look it up. She told me it's on
It's got to be on some show like I'm sure Katie knows all about
where the
it.
home show, not the TLC, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is surprising.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
TLC, you would think Bravo,
It's like,
right?
Put it on the Cartoon Network or something. All
yeah,
right.
so I've got to check it out because I'm not so much into those, like, or even like the Siesta Key or stuff like that.
Right.
But I'm like, 90-Day Fiancé. I mean, good
It's kind of
marketing
interesting,
there. I'm
yeah.
like, it's real catchy. So I'm gonna check it out,
Okay.
and I'll have to tell you about it, unless if you want to check it out too, because
Nah,
I'd love your
I
input
think I'm
on
gonna
it.
try to finish The Sinner.
Or how about I submit you to get onto the show and, maybe
to try to find me a 90-day fiancé?
yeah.
Like, why don't I just order a Russian bride while I'm at it? My God. Thank you so much for subscribing to the Totally Spoiled podcast on iHeartRadio, on iTunes, SoundCloud, on YouTube, pretty much anywhere you listen to a podcast.
You got it.
Thank you so much for listening every week.